My name is Charles Muchikekwanape. My Indian name is Sunrise Eagle, and if you want to say it in Cree, it's Sagastewikiho. I'm a traditional man. I believe in my traditional because my granny used to tell me it all leads to one creator. So that's what I believe in. And this morning I'm going to say a few stuff about raising kids in a community. I was raised in Norrie House, and everybody raised me, I guess. And I think it's about time that we go back to that because of the lot of violence going around. There's a lot of young people running around, even though we have a curfew. Back when I was growing up, when I was probably 9 or 10, a bell used to sound probably about 9 o'clock. That was the warning bell. That means you go home when that bell rang. Of course, I came from a dysfunction family. Both of my parents drank, and we had to go home when the bell rang. So I think it's about time that we bring that back and get some kind of a siren going at a certain time in the evening. So that would mean that all the young kids that are playing on a highway, playing somewhere all over the place, to go home and let the parents be responsible for their kids. When I was growing up, there was no Miniswin or anything like that. I think when Miniswin came around, that's when the kids starting being the bosses, not listening to the parents anymore, because they know they can get help from Miniswin. And I think it's about time that we don't, like we look after our kids. It takes a community to raise one child. I heard about this long time ago when the band hall, we had a meeting there, a workshop, and there were some guys from Norrie House that said it takes a community to bring a child up. And I do believe that, because that's the way I was brought up. And I don't have a criminal record. They all said that I would have a criminal record because my parents were drinking all the time and I would be the one going to jail all the time, but I never did go to jail. Weekends when I was drinking, yeah, that was just to keep me out of trouble, I guess. They threw me in jail, but to be in these jails that you spend a couple months on, I've never been there. And I'm still alive, and I'm trying to help my people now to straighten the community. Norrie House was a kind community long time ago when I was growing up. You stayed in your territories, so everything was okay. And when you went to other territories, it was a territory thing. But we never fought. Like when I was 15, nobody fought me when I went to different places. Like, they would wrestle you. If they wrestle you down, then that's it. The fight was over. Today, when they fight you, they'll have to nearly put you out of commission. And that means that when I say commission, where it comes to a point where you can't even walk, or you're hospitalized or get medevac. That's the only time they stop. So I think everybody, all the elders in Norrie House should say something. And I think it's about time that we have a public hearing somewhere, like to talk about what was experienced when you were growing up. This is what I experienced when I was growing up. And I think all the kids, now the kids see me, they respect me, they never bother me. Like I know all those kids are good. When I talk to them, even the ones that fight, I talk to them. And it's the rumors going around. I think that's what makes the kid bad. It's all the rumors and the Facebook things that people put on there. It's not really true what they're putting on, but when you read Facebook, you get a lot of information, what's going on, and some of it is not true. I think 90% of it is not true. So I think it's not right to start putting things on Facebook when you don't know yourself if it's true or not. This is really what bothers me. I don't write anything on Facebook. I read what's on Facebook. There's a lot of stuff on Facebook I read. Once in a while I'll comment on stuff that I read, but very seldom do I do that. Because it just makes it that everybody thinks they know what's going on. So nobody really tells the truth. And I think it's better just to use the phone if you're going to say something to other people over the social media. It's getting out of hand. People saying things, even the lineup on the bar. They're comparing who's got a better line, us or Cross Lake. I don't think anybody has a better line. It's 6 feet apart, I think. And then that really, like when I look at the line, I said, why do people do that? And then I remember when I was drinking too, it used to be just a bar that used to be open. 1 o'clock, all of us used to punch in there, doorway. And sometimes I don't think I even took a step. I got to the front by people pushing me. And I think it's time we do something about this. Like when I was drinking back in the 70s, when we carried beer on reserve, the RCMP, if they seen us, they would take it and we would get charged. Nowadays, they just take the beer and let the person go. I think it's time to bring that back. Let's see how they will think of getting a fine. It's hard, but remember, this is a dry reserve. All it will take is 2 guys to make a movement and say, let's get it so that treaty people can't buy beer. Long time ago it happened. And I remember who brought it back to get the treaty people to buy beer. I think if we do that, you would see a lot of difference here. There wouldn't be a lot of sirens going on every hour. You can hear them where I live. You can hear them almost every hour, sirens going, fires going up, houses getting burned. And it never used to be like that. We didn't have fire trucks back then. And we never did have fire. Once in a while we did, but not like what it's going on today, like a lot of fire all over the place. I think it's time that we said enough is enough, and let's look at this from the community's point of view. Like we're the ones that are destroying our community, and we're saying it's good and clean. Yeah, that's on the outside, but what's on the inside is what needs to be done here. Like me, my wife, I don't know. I sleep probably about 2 hours a night and then get up and make sure we don't get beaten up while we're sleeping, because there's a lot of people walking around going into houses. And we're getting old. we shouldn't have to go through that, but we go through that. I think it's time that people stand up for their rights and say enough is enough. And my grandpa used to tell me a lot of these stuff would come, and it's true, they're coming. I never thought I wouldn't sleep at night to wait for those people to come home. And my grandpa used to say, this is your teaching, it's the way you raise your kids. It's your garden. If you look after it, good, then things will work out good. I think that it's that time, we're getting to that point, all of us, to look after our garden, and our kids will grow up to be good. But the rate it's going now, we're not doing it. So I think we should start. Maybe this message will start something, but there'll be people that will be disagreeing with what I'm saying. That'll be all right. So thank you for listening to me. Like, I really want to help people. If there's traditional stuff that you want to learn, come and see me. I'll teach you. Thank you.